No, that's not true. No decision has been taken to bar Diane Abbott. The process that we were going through ended with the restoration of the whip the other day. So she's a member of the Parliamentary Labour Party, and no decision.
Keir Starmer's statement regarding Diane Abbott and her eligibility to stand for Labour has sparked widespread attention and debate within the political and public spheres. As one of the most recognized figures in the Labour Party, Diane Abbott holds a significant legacy, being the first black woman elected to the UK Parliament. Her influence spans decades, rooted in her dedication to social justice, equality, and representing marginalized communities. The controversy surrounding her recent political standing highlights the evolving dynamics of the Labour Party under Keir Starmer's leadership and raises broader questions about the party's direction, internal discipline, and commitment to inclusivity. The context of this debate traces back to comments made by Abbott, which drew criticism from multiple quarters, leading to her suspension from the Labour whip. These remarks, described as insensitive by some, prompted discussions about the boundaries of free speech, the responsibility of public figures, and the mechanisms within political parties to address perceived misconduct. While Abbott later apologized, stating that her words had been poorly chosen and did not reflect her broader commitment to anti-racism, the fallout was swift. Her suspension became emblematic of the challenges faced by a party navigating the intersection of diverse opinions and the need for unified messaging. Keir Starmer's announcement that Abbott is not barred from standing for Labour signals a potential pathway for reconciliation, but also reflects the careful balancing act required of his leadership. On one hand, Starmer has positioned himself as a figure of discipline, keen to rebuild Labour's credibility with voters after years of internal strife. On the other hand, he must navigate the sensitivities of a party that prides itself on being a broad church, encompassing a range of voices, including those of the left, with which Abbott is often associated. His statement underscores an attempt to foster inclusivity while maintaining the integrity of the party's standards. For many of Abbott's supporters, the announcement is a step toward restoring what they see as justice for a seasoned politician who has long been a target of racial and gendered abuse. Her tenure in Parliament has been marked by relentless challenges, not least the barrage of vitriol she has faced online and in the media. Abbott's advocates argue that her contributions to the Labour Party and to British politics at large deserve recognition, and that her suspension was disproportionate given her decades of service. For them, allowing her to stand as a Labour candidate affirms the party's commitment to diversity and its acknowledgement of the unique struggles faced by politicians of colour. However, not everyone within the Labour Party or its voter base views the situation with the same sympathy. Critics argue that Abbott's comments, regardless of intent, undermine the Labour Party's commitment to combating all forms of discrimination. They emphasize that as a senior figure, Abbott has a responsibility to uphold the highest standards of discourse and to avoid statements that could alienate sections of the electorate. For this group, Starmer's decision not to bar her from standing raises concerns about whether the party is adequately enforcing its standards of conduct. The broader implications of this decision extend beyond Abbott herself. Starmer's leadership has often been scrutinized for its approach to handling dissent within the party, particularly among members and MPs associated with the Corbyn-era left. The suspension of figures like Abbott and the controversies surrounding other prominent left-wing politicians have fueled accusations from some quarters that Starmer's Labour is sidelining its progressive wing in favor of a more centrist or right-leaning approach. By allowing Abbott to remain eligible to stand, Starmer may be attempting to counter these accusations and present a more unified image of the party ahead of the next general election. Abbott's eligibility to stand as a Labour candidate will also depend on the views of local party members and the vetting process for candidates. In recent years, the Labour Party has tightened its procedures for selecting candidates, emphasizing the need for individuals who align with the party's values and electoral strategy. While Starmer's statement opens the door for Abbott's candidacy, it does not guarantee her selection. This uncertainty adds another layer of complexity to the situation, as her supporters and detractors wait to see whether she will ultimately be chosen to represent Labour in her constituency. The public reaction to this development has been deeply polarized, reflecting the broader divisions within the UK's political landscape. For some, the announcement is a welcome recognition of Abbott's enduring contributions and an acknowledgement that even senior politicians are entitled to second chances. For others, it is a contentious decision that risks alienating voters who view the party's handling of internal discipline as inconsistent or politically motivated. Social media has been ablaze with commentary, ranging from heartfelt messages of support for Abbott to sharp criticisms of both her and the Labour leadership.